Welcome to Lesson 11 in Somatic Movement Patterns. In this lesson, we'll be learning hip and shoulder rolls. This is actually one part of a 3-lesson series, and in the first part, we'll be learning the shoulder component of a larger pattern, and then adding in subsequent components with the next several lessons. Right, so let's have you lying on your side. Get into a comfortable side position with the knees bent up at a perpendicular to the body. Now, you can rest your head comfortably, pillowing it on your arm. If you're more comfortable with a separate pillow for your head, that's fine as well. So, let your right arm rest comfortably across your hip. And I'd like you to bring your attention to your shoulder, the right shoulder on top, and just move the shoulder a little bit for starters. Now, I'd like you to move the shoulder up closer to the ear. Draw that right shoulder towards the ear, and then relax it. And do that again, noticing how far the shoulder moves, and also noticing the ease with which the shoulder is able to move. In order for the shoulder to move closer to the ear, the scapula, or shoulder blade and back, needs to be able to glide freely across the rib cage. Now, if you have any muscular tightness or tension in your upper back or shoulder area, you may find that this is initially challenging, but the whole idea here is to free up any such tension. Shoulder comes up, and slowly relax it back to its neutral position. And we'll do that one more time. Glide that shoulder up, and then slowly relax it. Now our next component will have us moving the shoulder in just the opposite direction. So think about extending the right shoulder down in the direction of the right hip. The shoulder goes down and then slowly releases back to normal. Try that again. Shoulder goes down and relax. Lower the shoulder and relax. Now notice as you're practicing this how the range of motion for the shoulder in going down compares to the range of motion of the shoulder when you brought it up. Go ahead, bring the shoulder up again and relax it, and then move the shoulder down again. Does the range of motion feel comparable, or does it feel conspicuously different? Let's try that one more time. Bring your shoulder up, and now in one smooth release, let the shoulder go back to neutral, and then continue downward towards the hip. And move the shoulder all the way up, and slowly move it all the way down. We'll do that one more time now. Shoulder comes all the way up, release, and move it all the way down. And now let your shoulder just rest at neutral for a moment. And we're going to change directions. I want you to think about bringing the shoulder forward in front of the chest. So just roll that shoulder to the front and relax it. And do that again. As you draw the shoulder to the front, you'll feel the scapula, the shoulder blade and back, being drawn away from its center line as the back rounds. And relax. And do that again. Noticing how the range of motion bringing the shoulder forward compares to the range of motion for raising the shoulder up or depressing it downward. Bring the shoulder forward and release. And go ahead now and retract the shoulder, pulling that shoulder back. And relax. And pull the shoulder back again. And relax. And pull the shoulder back. Again, comparing the backward movement of the shoulder to the forward movement of the shoulder. Bring the shoulder forward again. Frontwards. Release it. And now pull that shoulder back. And release. Pull the shoulder forward. Now, just as the forward movement of the shoulder pulls the scapula away from its center line, moving the shoulder to the back centers the scapula. And if there's any tightness in the pectoral muscles of the chest, that will make itself felt here as well. Always be careful to work with your body. Don't fight against your body. Now let's review what we've learned so far. Bring the shoulder up and relax. Bring the shoulder down and relax. Bring the shoulder forward. Return to neutral. And retract the shoulder and come back to neutral. Now let's see if we can put these 4 directions together for a nice somatics exercise. Would you begin by bringing the shoulder up? And from the up position, bring your shoulder forward. Pause, and from the forward position, would you move the shoulder down? From down, retract the shoulder. And from back, bring the shoulder back up. And move the shoulder forward and down and back and up. Keep your movements slow so you maintain a deliberate control throughout the pattern. Forward, down, back, up, forward, down, back, and up. Making the pattern as smooth and as circular as possible. Now, if there's any sticking points, if you have any discomfort or tightness, what we call in somatics sensory motor amnesia, anywhere along the pathway of this movement, don't fight your way through it. Just make a note of it and ease yourself around that as best you can. You can always come back and do a more focused practice on just that little problem area. That said, try and keep the movement as large and as circular and as smooth and as controlled and deliberate as possible. Circling around, circling around. And now pause with the shoulder up. And this time move your shoulder back. And from back, move the shoulder down. From down, bring your shoulder forward. And from forward, bring the shoulder up. So we're reversing the direction of movement now. Back, down, forward, and up. Back, down, forward, and up. We'll go around 2 more times. Around and down and forward and up. Back and down, forward and up. And let's have you just pause. And would you roll onto your back? Position yourself comfortably and turn the focus of your attention to your upper back and shoulder area. And what I'd like you to do before we practice the same moves to the opposite side is to take a moment and compare the effects of what we've done so far. You'll probably feel that the right shoulder area is much flatter in its contact against the floor. Close your eyes. Slow your breath. And move the shoulder around while you're on your back, just very gingerly, to explore how easily it moves. Now, open your eyes. If you're practicing at home, you can simply roll onto your right side, but so that I stay facing towards the camera, I'm going to flip myself around here. And now that you're positioned to the opposite side, we'll repeat the same pattern according to its mirror image. Now, having done the first side, you have that experience as a frame of reference. So when we do the same or similar moves here on the left side, I want you to continually be referencing back in your mind to notice how the left side compares to the right side. Now let's start with the hand comfortably draped across the hip. Bring your attention to your left shoulder and slowly draw that shoulder up towards the ear and release. And the shoulder comes up and release. And bring that left shoulder up and release. Let's go ahead and move the left shoulder down towards the hip and relax. And down again. And just as we did on the first side, I want you to notice how the range of motion compares between moving the shoulder down and then moving the shoulder up. I also want you to compare the ease with which you're able to move the shoulder. If you have any tightness, it might be a little bit more challenging going one direction or the other. Move the shoulder down, release, and then bring your shoulder up. And let's go ahead and explore the full span of up and down movement. All the way down, all the way up. Again, noticing how the movement of your shoulder on the left side compares to the same movement as best you can recall on the right side. Now bring yourself back to neutral and pause. And bring that left shoulder forward and relax. And forward and relax. And one more time to the front. And then pull your shoulder back, retract your shoulder. And release. Shoulder goes back. Release. Shoulder goes back. And bring it all the way forward. All the way back. Nice and easy. That's great. Now just relax for a moment. And go ahead and bring your shoulder up. And from up, bring it forward. From forward, bring it down. From down, bring it back. And up in a nice circular pattern. Forward, down, back, and up. Forward, down, back, and up. Notice how the left shoulder circle compares to the right shoulder circle. Bring the shoulder all the way around and pause when you lift the shoulder up. And then let's reverse the direction. Move your shoulder back and down, forward and up. Back and down, forward and up. back and down, forward and up. And just pause and rest for a moment. And go ahead and roll onto your back. I'm going to flip around here for the camera. And you can put your legs out straight. Close your eyes, turn your attention inward. And notice how much flatter both shoulders are, having completed those initial shoulder patterns. This completes part 1 of hip and shoulder rolls. Thank you.